this is why you should perceive yourself as the better version of yourself. You know, people are controlled by their own perceptions, not by the world, not by the community, not by your family or friends, but by you. Right? If you believe that you can never mount to certain things, you'll never get there. It's because by your own law that you've created, you've already summoned that you are not capable of doing anything. Right? You're kind of like bewitching yourself to say, I'll never amount to these particular things in my life. Right? And perception people plays a huge role. It plays a huge role in moving from this particular version of yourself to this particular version of yourself. Right? It plays a huge role. Right? So for those who still believe that certain things must be done by other people so that they can see by their eyes, or say so that they can hear by the word of the mouth that it is possible, then they start to do it. No. If you have an idea that comes from your own thoughts and your own brain, that idea is there for a reason. It is your sole job to plant and it's your job to plant that idea, water it, and then harvest it. Right? So majority of people think that not everything is easy, not everything is possible. Everything is possible. Everyone has an enormous amount of potential. It's unlimited. Right? Some of your potential you can never know if you are still thinking that you'll never become this person. Right? You'll never become this better version of yourself. You'll never become this true self that you want to become. Right? So perception plays a huge role. Right? Because if you believe that you can never do certain things, you will end up taking decisions that will lead you not to become what you think you are not going to be. Right? So no one is stopping you, no one is forcing you to stop certain things from happening in your own life. It's only you and yourself. So if you keep on feeding your brain lies, your soul lies, it will end up adapting to that particular thing. It's because it's what you are feeding it. Alright? So sometimes you gotta starve the ego to serve the soul. Right? So perception people plays a huge role. So if all we perceive ourselves as this limited human beings, that's what you're going to become. Right? That's what you're going to become. I mean, look at there are billionaires out here. You know, when he or she was a kid, it started all like, man, I want to become a billionaire, and it was an idea. And that idea he worked on, right? He made a decision to execute the idea, to make it come true, to work for him. You see, every idea that it's in your mind, make it work for you. Let it make you become the better version of yourself. Be obsessed with executing every particular idea that's in your mind. Right? You should be obsessed with becoming that true self, that better version. Right? It's because there's nothing else to live for, people. There's nothing else. If all you do is procrastinate about everything, think everything that it's wrong, thinking that this is right, this is wrong, this is left, this is right, if you live in that mentality, you'll be captured by the system. You will never become what you want to be. You will never become what you want to be. You know? So it's about time, people, we move in a direction where we make our own choices now. where we stop hindering ourselves from becoming what we want to be because of a thought of an idea or what someone else said or what you tell yourself. So we need to become more observant of how we see the world, right? How you see the world impacts how you are going to move through the world, how you are going to maneuver through this part of your life. So perception plays a huge role, plays a crucial role. It plays a huge crucial role, people. We might undermine how we see certain things, but it plays a huge role, And another thing that I want to touch on is you must learn to protect what you believe in. You must learn to protect your dreams. You must learn to protect your ideologies. You must protect what you are willing to stand up for. People who don't stand up for nothing, basically they don't contribute nothing to the world. Right? People who don't defend themselves for something that it's an asset to them, they are useless. Right? For example, thieves want to steal valuable things from rich people, and rich people see those things as assets, valuable assets to them. So if rich people didn't value those things as their assets, then the thieves wouldn't have any reason to steal from the rich. Right? So same as your ideas, same as your ideologies, you must protect them. You must make them have value. And not because you're trying to stir up enemies, but it's because it is part of your life to stand up for something that you truly believe is going to work for you. Not for your family, not for the society, but for you. If it works for you, then you can share the secret sauce. Right? But remember, now when you have already shared it, it no longer becomes an asset. Right? Because an asset is something that is more of a secret, something that it is valuable to you only. Right? But if you start to share that secret sauce with everyone, if McDonald's shares its secret recipe on how to do burgers, then everyone starts to do it. It no longer values the way it used to value before. Right? So learn to protect your dreams, learn to protect your ideas, learn to protect yourself, your perception, everything. Because this is a war. We are in a warfare. People don't protect themselves, who don't protect their perception of how they see the world, they never get anywhere far. That is why it's easy for them to be blown away by the wind. It's because everything that they see, they want to do. Everything that everyone else is doing, they want to do. For once, you need to become an outcast. Change the whole narrative. Surprise them. Make them feel like you are their enemy. Because in this world, what you need is more enemies than friends. Your enemies will teach you a lot of things compared to your friends and your family. So the whole point is to protect what you believe in and how you see the world. If you don't have a perception of how you see the world, you can never get anywhere. Right? So the third thing that I wanna touch on is, and this is still talking about perception. When you start to believe in everything that you see, everyone is going to be against what you believe in that particular perception or that particular idea that you're having. Right? And I know this is because this becomes a weakness to you, to a point whereby you realize that no one is no longer agreeing with you on any terms. It might be little things. People will never start agreeing with you, and things happen, right? But it kind of switches on that weakness to say, if now no one agrees with me, you kind of start to take a step back into, is it really true what I believe in, or is nothing but just a delusion? And it's a weakness to everyone, right? It happens to the best of us. But remember, it's the course of life. And like I said, it's how you perceive the world. So if you were to take a step back and start to say, I don't think I believe in this and this and that, you are kind of decreasing your confidence. You're kind of creating a low self-esteem for yourself, personally so, internally so, to a point whereby everything that you start to, maneuver through in life, you start to do second doubts. Every time you doubt this, you doubt that, you doubt this, you doubt. And basically your life starts to become a doubting game. Everything is a doubt. Everything you cannot trust. You cannot even trust yourself to make certain decisions. You cannot even trust yourself to carry out this job and execute it, right? So it kind of becomes a weakness. So the point I want to touch on is, even though people start to undermine your beliefs, don't let it become a weakness, even though it becomes a weakness at some point, because you can never stop everything in life in happening, right? So don't never avoid it. Approach it, understand it, and make it work for you. Turn the pain into power, right? You should turn everything into a useful tool. Everything in this world you are given, it's a tool, right? So you should make the opposite become power to you. You should use the opposite to become an advantage to you, a privilege to you, right? For example, there is this saying that a boy goes into a jungle, right? If he kills the elephant, his whole community ends in let me put this properly. The thing is, I forgot what the code was, or how the code was structured, but I'm just paraphrasing. It says that the boy goes into the jungle, and if he kills the elephant, he ends the poverty in his community. But if the elephant kills him, still the poverty ends, right? So you'd let that sink in, and you'll try to extract it and extrapolate it in whatever way you want to extrapolate it. But the whole point is, everything that is opposite, use it to become more powerful, more better, and whatsoever, right? And look, create a room for growth. Always create a room for growth, because you never stop learning. You never stop learning. Even when you be 90 something years old, you'll never stop working, and you'll never stop learning, right? We learn every single day. So you should take that in account, that everything that you do, you must have your perception of how you see it. You must know that it will have consequences and cause you some enemies, and it will bear a weakness in you, and later on you must turn that particular whole main idea of it into a power that you can use to become that better version of you.